everybody. How are you?
How you doing? We are about to do the question and answering.
Yes, we asked you guys to leave us some questions for our question and answer video. We just celebrated our first year of marriage and we asked you to leave us some questions. You did, and we're going to answer them. Got the trusty iPad here. Here we go. All right. Question number 1. What traditions do you guys have as a married couple?
Well, we've got a lot of traditions. When we kind of started them, it was a kind of a little bit of me bringing some traditions in and us making our own when we started dating. You know, and some of them are just small. Some of them are like, we always go to the Renaissance Festival.
We always get a personalized Christmas ornament for our tree every year. I
mean, we always open up a small little gift New Year's Eve. Christmas Eve. Yeah, it's just little things like that.
Yeah, little things like that. But, you know, we're just getting started with our married life, so we're still building our traditions. But little things like that, things that we do every year and things that we've been doing.
Yeah, places we go. You know, and it doesn't seem like much, but it kind of keeps everything connected. You know, like the wine festival, we always go there. It's kind of like a little milestone that we look forward to every year. You know, and we go to Renaissance, and that's in the fall. Gives us something to look forward to. And, you know, just things like that.
Yeah, we dig it.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 2. This is actually 2 questions that I'm combining into one. Do you feel the first year went as you expected? And is married life what you thought it would be? Let me go first.
Go ahead.
I thought there would be this ginormous change because everyone always tells you that being married is so different. Oh, you just wait until you get married, everything's going to change, and I'm still waiting for that to happen. So that's what I was kind of expecting, a huge shift, and that has not happened. But as far as has it been great? Has marriage been what I expected in that sense? Yeah, marriage is awesome. It's wonderful. I love everything about it so far. Has marriage been what you expected?
Yeah, well, I've already been married one time before.
Yes.
So I kind of knew what to expect to a point.
You weren't married to me. Darling.
Exactly.
You were not. You were married, but you were not married to me.
Yes, I knew that. I knew that, but I kind of knew what I was getting into because we've been dating and we were living together for, you know. But I don't know. It's different, of course, with everybody. Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what I expected it was going to be. It was going to be that, like I was telling her earlier, it's like a, at first you kind of like, oh yeah, we're married, but it doesn't sink in. It takes, you know, and I'm kind of lost for words.
We were talking about this earlier. After you get married, at least for us anyway, after you get married, it doesn't really sink in that you're married until some time goes by. Like it
takes 8-9 months before you really are like, hey,
we're married.
We're married,
right?
It's not like we're going to get in an argument and I'm moving out, you know, or
we're married.
You know, what's hers is mine, what's mine is hers.
But when you get married, it's not okay. You say I do, and then the next day, it's. I'm like you, I'm lost for words now. It takes time to really sink in that you're married. Because after we got married, we had our honeymoon night, and what did we do the next day? We came right back here. So it was like, we were married, but it didn't feel any different than it felt 2 days before.
Right. I mean,
it takes time, and it takes circumstances for it to really sink in that, you are married.
Yeah, I think, like she said, the circumstances, like something happens, and you know you're out of that dating engaged mode. You're into that. Oh, it has to do with us. Yes. I mean, it's not you situation. How can we get you out of this, or how can I get out of this situation? It's how can we get out of this situation, because it's everything is a us thing now. It's not a me and you. It's a us situation. So it really kind of, it does. It kind of puts it in a different perspective.
Yes.
You really start thinking about it a little bit more.
We kind of veered way off of that question, but here's an answer for you. All right. Oh, I love this one. Thank you to whoever left this question. What are good and bad habits of you both that gets on each other's nerves?
Oh.
Go right ahead.
See, I'm trying to think of the good habits.
You can't think of any good habits?
Yeah, because I don't know if I sit here and say that's you'll be like, that's not really a habit, you know, because we were going on this earlier. I was sitting there saying stuff and she's going, well, that's not really a habit. That's not really a habit. I'm thinking, well, what's a habit?
The thing that I'm going to say about you isn't really a habit. It's more of a personality trait. So even though I do have one habit of yours that kind of gets on my nerves, like you always leave the lid to the washing machine open. Like, why? Every time I go in there, that thing is up. He never puts it down. So there's a little habit. But the thing I'm going to mention when I give my answer,
toilet seat, right?
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
This isn't really a habit. It's more of a personality trait. Something about Michael that kind of gets on my nerves, and it's, I don't know. Michael is a passionate person. He's a very passionate person, okay? And that's wonderful in some ways. Other ways, not so much. Michael will let things bother him so much, big things and little things. I mean, he will let the teeny tiniest, littlest, most inconsequential thing bother him so much. And he'll be fussing and cussing and throwing things, and I just stand back and look at him like, why? What is wrong with you? It's not that serious.
But sometimes it is serious.
Sometimes it is serious, but some things are just like...
And sometimes the smallest little things, if you don't pay attention to those small things, they become the big things, because the big things were small at one time.
But sometimes the small things are just that. Small things. It's like...
And hey, let me tell you something. That's the one thing that bothers me. Between her being waiting until the very last, you know, putting things off and putting things off and putting things off and putting things off. You know, procrastinator. She's terrible procrastinating. I love her, but she procrastinates to the very end. But that's one thing that bothers me about her so much, because it could be something important, and she'll just be like, okay. Like, and I try to get to her, like, there's a world that's going on around you. Like,
I get that, but
but sometimes she walks around with blinders on, and she just wants to see what's in front of her. And it's like, you do that, and the thing's going to come up inside of you and smack you upside the head. I'm trying to look at everything around me so it doesn't harm her or me or my family, you know. And you might not think, oh well, that's going on in a different state, but it doesn't matter. Things that are going on in those states happen in your states. Okay, it happens around you.
Okay, gonna have to stop you right here, mister.
There you go.
Now let's take news stories for example. Yeah, let's take news stories for example. This is a great example. Something will happen on the news, some sort of situation, whatever it may be, and Michael will like really take that to heart, and he will be feeling it like, oh, I cannot believe this happened, and he will be getting like so super upset. I, on the other hand, I watch the news, I hear it for what it is, and then I go on about my day. I don't let things like that consume me. I don't let them affect me. Sometimes they do, but most of the time they don't. Because if I let every single terrible, tragic, horrible news story that happens all day, every day, all around the world affect me, I would be paralyzed with fear and sadness. I would never get out of bed in the morning, so I don't let that stuff bother me.
But I'm not letting it bother me to the point that I'm paralyzed and I can't do nothing. Like,
but you let it affect you so much.
I come to her about stuff like, you know, like crazy things that like happen at, you know, like at a school or something. They throw a child out because, oh, they had one that this girl brought in a Wonder Woman lunchbox. And the school told her that she's no longer allowed to bring that lunchbox because it promoted violence. Promoted violence. Because Wonder Woman was going like this on the, and I'm thinking to myself, she's the one that fights the bad guys, and they're telling her that she can no longer bring in this lunchbox because it promotes violence. It boggles my mind, and that doesn't seem like a lot, but that tells me that my daughter or my son, what kind of school system am I putting that child into? Because I do not want, you know, I don't want my kid to be told that a superhero is bad. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem like much, but it's a small, yeah, have you ever heard it? You drop a rock in a pond and it starts small, but by the time those rings, they're huge. It's stuff like that. A small little bloop, but it turns into this. And that's what bothers me. That's the stuff that bothers me. And she was there, and she was concerned because it was about Wonder Woman. That was the only thing. I love
Wonder Woman.
Yes.
And I get what he's saying, but about small things turning into big things. But sometimes small things are just small things. And I understand. And they don't need to be obsessed over.
But see, I understand that, and I'll say something, but I won't get into it. But things that bother me, like, you know, when it comes to the security of my family or my country, I am upset.
What are the good habits?
Well, what's a good habit?
The good habits. And this, again, is not really a habit. It's more like a personality trait. It's kind of like the flip side of what I just said. I mean, I know, right? He gets so passionate about these things, which kind of gets on my nerves because he just like goes crazy over many things that I think are very small. But some of them are big. But that's one of the things that I really love about him too. Also at the same time, Michael cares very deeply for his fellow man. Very, very much. He cares about his fellow man. He cares about helping people. He's not a selfish person at all. He's not a me, me, me. He's how can we help someone else? If we can help someone else, if we have the means to help someone else, let's do it. And I love that about him. That's a wonderful personality trait.
I mean, there's a lot of things that are great about her. You know, I love the kind of still innocence that she has. You know, like she looks at things in the opposite sometimes how I look at it. She looks at the most positive things that a situation can look at, and I'm looking at it going, no. She has that thing about her that just, you know, she just looks at everything at upbeat and positive and everything, and, you know, and she just has that, I don't know how to describe it, but like I told her, I am so happy that she is going to be my kid's mother, because the qualities that she has, I want my child, my daughter, whoever, my son, to have those. I want them to have those qualities. And I know how she is, and it's just, it's just awesome, because I've met a lot of women that don't have that. You know, they're just, you know, very harsh, very just, and I don't know, that's just my very long answer.
Thanks though, baby. How much has your relationship grown since I do? I think our relationship has grown a lot. I mean, Michael and I were very close before we got married, but we're really, really close now because we're married.
Yeah.
This is like serious, serious business.
And we talk about things as in us.
Us. Not me, not you. Us.
When it comes to everything. I mean, when it comes to, you know, even when it comes to saving money, when it comes to our future, when it comes to family. I mean, everything
it's not your family, it's not my family.
Right. It's our family. Everything is ours. You've been alone, or you've been concentrating on yourself for so long that the only thing you know is you. You know, taking care of yourself. taking care of your kids, taking care of, that's it, you know. But now that you have somebody else, now for some people it is hard because they're not used to that. And now all of a sudden they got to sit here and say, okay, now I gotta put all my effort into you, and you gotta put all your effort into me.
I have to consider someone else.
Right, and it's kind of, you know, some people, oh, I don't like to rely on other people. Well, you're married. Yeah. You need to rely on that person because that person's going to rely on you.
That's one of the benefits of being married.
That's part of being together. That's, you know, everything is ours, not yours and mine anymore. So, sure.
I think our relationship has grown a lot since saying I do.
Yeah. So it takes a little time, but yeah, when you get into that, because it's great because it's almost like, you know, you got your best friend, you got your partner right next to you.
Yeah, and you're on the same team.
You know, so exactly. It's not like it's just you anymore.
You're on the same team, and you both will do whatever it takes to make sure the team wins.
That's right.
Yeah. What do you think is most important to keep your marriage happy and in love with each other?
I think for us, it's never losing that, never getting comfortable with each other. You know,
you can be comfortable, but you guys know what we're talking about, that too comfortable stuff.
Right. Don't, we still act like we're dating. We do.
We do. He actually chases me around the house.
I chase her around the house. And we laugh so much, between the laughter and keeping everything fresh. That's the whole key on a good relationship, is never getting
complacent.
Yeah, never get stale with a relationship. Never get to the point that you're just kind of like, you know, like it's all, you know, like, hey, we already did it. Now it's just we're married. You know, we still do things like we were dating. We kind of still, you know, I still try to court her like we were when we first started dating. You know what I mean? We still do things. We still, and we keep that going. It's almost like, you know how when you first start dating somebody, that first 3, 6, 7 months, it's like the best time because you're just kind of like,
you're making your best effort.
It's exciting. It's exciting because you can't wait to see the person. You can't wait to spend time. And when you're with that person, you make sure every single moment of the time that you're with them, you're just like 100% into them. Well, that's how we've stayed. I mean, we've been together, what, 5 years now?
Yeah, almost.
And we've always kept that. And we'll sit there and pull each other up. And when it does seem like, every once in a while,
if it starts getting a little like we feel like we're slipping, it's like, you know what? No, I don't like this. We need to get it together. Come on now.
Yeah, and I'll sit there and say, or she'll sit there and say, like, if it seems like, you know, we're getting a little too comfortable, you know, we're not, you know, like every morning I give her a kiss before I leave. When I get home from work, I give her a kiss. Before we go to bed, I give her a kiss. You know, and some people might not give their spouse a kiss all week, but we keep that. That's like, and it sounds weird, but it's like a tradition.
Yeah.
That is something, and she pulls me up. If I come home from work, well, most of the time she doesn't want me to give her a kiss till after I get out of the shower, but, you know, if she comes home and she doesn't come over and give me a kiss, you know, I'm not saying like right away, but, you know, I'll pull her up. I'll be like, oh, well, I guess I don't get a kiss today. And she'll be like, oh, you know, and it's easy to forget.
Yeah, because when you get into your daily routine, day after day, week after week, it's easy to slip. Everybody's busy. Everybody's got things on their minds.
But if you let that slip keep going and going and going.
This is a great example of something small that could turn into something big.
Exactly. There you go. So it could go from just, oh, it's just a kiss, to, well, it was just, I forgot the anniversary, or I forgot your birthday, or you know, it's just.
And we're just not going there.
I can't wait to get off work to get home. You know, I can't wait to get home. I get excited when I'm coming home and see her. You know, because I know I'm going to spend time with her. Even though when I come home, I pretty much just jump in the shower and then just run right back out, go to the gym. So that way I get home at a decent time.
And we can have dinner and spend time together.
Yeah, so we can have dinner and spend time together. But, you know, it's just, I look forward to coming home. And when she's not home, you know, I'll text her, where you at? You at home?
Yes.
I mean, you were working? Or what are you doing? You know, I want to know where you at.
Yeah, if I'm not home when he gets home, it's like, where are you?
Yeah, where you at? But yeah, I mean, I think that's probably the most. That's the key for us, to keep everything happy.
Yeah. And one thing I was going to say, laughter, and just being friends. We have a ball. We have so much fun together. I mean, we laugh constantly. We say this all the time. You guys don't even see the funniest stuff. I mean, we have some pretty funny videos and entertaining videos, and you guys say we make you laugh and stuff. You don't even see the half of it. There are so many times when something happens or one of us says something and we say, oh God, we wish we had the camera on when that just happened. Ground crying, you know, we're laughing so hard, and I mean, we get going.
Yeah, we get going.
I mean, we just have so much fun. We're best friends. We love hanging out. We love having fun. We love having a good time. I mean, we play games. Like, we have like this domino game that we play. We get into our TV shows. We genuinely love each other's company. And we just love to laugh and have a good time. It's like, you know, the world and life is so serious. We try to keep it light. We try to keep it fun. You know, we just like having a good time. Yeah. What's a favorite memory of your wedding day? I think I have two favorite memories. Sadly, I don't really remember that much about the day because wedding days go by in such a blur. Seriously, you guys. But one of my favorite memories was our first look. We had a first look. A first look is when you see each other before the ceremony and you have pictures taken. I really enjoyed that a lot because he like came down a little pathway, and
if you watched our video.
Yeah, we watched our wedding video.
She's standing there
by myself,
and I'm walking down behind her. That was our first look.
And there were like pebbles on the little pathway, so I could hear him coming. So that was a really nice moment. Like, he kissed me on the shoulder, and then he came around to the front of me, and I got to see him. He got to see me, and it was great. That was a wonderful moment. He told me how beautiful I was, and it was nice. That was really nice. And a second favorite memory of that day was the very end of the night when we finally went up to the bridal suite and everybody was finally leaving us alone, and there was no more coming and going, and we were just like sitting there. I still had on my gown, he had on his suit, and we had like champagne. They had like, you know, like some little appetizers there for us, strawberries and different things, and we were just sitting there. We had some champagne and drinks, and it was nice to just sit down because it was a whirlwind of a day. So it was nice to just sit down and have just, it's over, we did it,
just
we're married.
Exhale,
it was nice. So the first look and the very, very end of the evening where we finally just got to be alone and reflect on, you know, the enormity of what we just did.
Yeah, the first look I think was the most memorable for me because I was like, oh, I saw her and I almost started crying. You know, it was just like, it was so emotional, like, you know, seeing her. And I was just like, because I thought I was going to lose it when she was walking down. And I actually started almost losing it when we were saying our vows. You know, but I was holding it in. I was like, no, I'm not going to lose it. I'm not going to do this. But before, I'm glad we had our first look because that kind of took away a lot of that anxiety, a lot of that, you know.
That was part of the reason we wanted to do that.
Because if not, I probably would have lost it, you know. I probably would have, so.
Were any relationships with your friends or family strained because of you two being together as an interracial couple? No.
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 I mean...
And if anyone had a problem, they would have gotten told to kick rocks.
Yeah.
Is there a difference between being an interracial couple that is just dating versus being a married couple? There is... I don't think there's any difference, but I understand the psychology behind this question. I don't think there's any difference being an interracial couple that's dating versus being married. There's a difference between dating and being married. Yeah. I mean, yes, the gravity and of your relationship, the weight of your relationship is a lot more when you're married. But I definitely understand that question because there are plenty of people who will date everyone under the sun, but when it comes time to get serious and when it comes time to get married, they will only stay within their own. I've seen that a million times. Like, oh, you can date and play around with whoever you want, but you know, when it comes time for marriage and children, you better not bring an outsider in here. I've seen that a lot. So sure, I understand that question. But for us, no. Do you get stares? If yes, how do you handle it? Now, as I've told you a million times before, I don't really notice things like that because I'm usually like, la 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 la. He hates that, but he loves it too at the same time. So I don't really notice that as much. I do sometimes, like if someone's staring right at me and really being rude about it, I notice that. But just when we're out and about, I'm not paying attention to anybody else. I'm not. Now he notices like any and everything.
Well, yeah, I mean, I notice.
And he claims people are like always staring at us. I don't.
We get a lot of people stare at us. You know, like, I don't know. It's weird. Like,
who stares more, men or women?
Men.
Oh, okay. The last question. How many children do you want?
0 to 2.
Yes. It depends on which day you ask us. Some days it's like, do you really want to do it? It's like, no, let's not. It's great the way it is. Just you and me. We can hang out, do whatever we want.
And come and go as we please.
Come and go. And it's great.
There's no nothing. It's just us. We can just come and go as we please. We can do whatever we want when we want to do it. You know, there's nothing holding us back. If we want to stay up till 5 o'clock in the morning, we could do that.
Yeah,
we can sleep in all day. We don't have to worry about that.
So days that we're feeling like that, the answer is 0. But then other days we're like, oh, wouldn't it be nice if we started our own little family tree and we had a little baby, half you, half me. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah. So days like that, 1. But then some days we think, oh, well, what if we have one? And then she'll be left all alone to take care of us in our older years, and she won't have any, you know, any kids to hang out with and play with and be friends with. She'll be lonely growing up. Then, oh, maybe we should have 2. So it depends on which day you ask.
Yeah, it is.
It depends on which day you ask.
Yeah, I know. It is.
So
we're kind of like trying to figure out.
But we'll probably have, I mean, I can't say 100% sure. We'll probably, what are we, like 85% sure that we'll have at least 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, like I said, and we always sit there and talk about it. It's like having a little 3 musketeers.
Yeah, it'd be fun. You know? We have like a little buddy to take with us everywhere.
Yeah. And a lot of the places we go, I mean, we take her, it's not like we don't go to our bars and stuff like that.
Yeah, just about every place we go is kid friendly, so it wouldn't change that much, I guess.
No, and it would be fun to have. It'd be fun to have a little one running around with us, you know. And like I told her, it'd be nice to have a little her and I, you know, just a little person that, you know, and we would kind of start off our own, you know, our own little family tree. You know, we put that first branch out, that little girl or little boy, and then maybe have another one, put out a little branch, and then, you know, it just grows from there, and grows, and we'll be the roots.
We'll be the roots.
We'll be the roots. We'll be the ones that started it.
Yeah, so you know, when you think about it like that, it's like, oh, that is a nice thought. That is a nice idea. But some days we're just like, no.
Yeah, because it's like...
All right, you guys, that's it. That's all the questions. Sorry if we didn't get to your question, but we could only do so many, and this video is long enough. So sorry if we didn't get to your question. Maybe
we'll be doing another one.
Yeah,
eventually.
We'll be doing another one. We appreciate you submitting them, and we tried to get to as many as we could. That's going to be it for this video. Thank you all for watching, submitting your questions, sticking with us through this first year of marriage, and thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in the next video.
See you later. Bye.